Hello, everyone, and welcome to Champlin Park High School for CTN's live coverage of girls high school basketball. Tonight, the Northwest Suburban Conference opener as the Champlin Park Rebels welcome the Coon Rapids Cardinals. Joey and Howie Shapiro, sidelines, and Howie, both teams coming off of losses in their first game, hoping to get back on track in the conference opener.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Coon Rapids coming off a loss to Forest Lake in a game where they were tight at the half. Forest Lake took advantage in the second half of a lot of turnovers, ended up getting the big win. On the other side, Champlin Park lost to Eden Prairie by about, I believe it was 16 points. And that was a game that again, kind of got away from them a little bit, and they turned the ball over quite a bit as well.
And coming in, it's two teams that rely on a big presence underneath. For Coon Rapids, it's Kaylee Porras, just a sophomore, but she played almost every game last year.
And a big force underneath, 18 points in that loss to Forest Lake. She is going to be a key for Coon Rapids tonight. They're going to try and feed her the ball underneath. She's going to be important in the rebounding game as well. And if they want to be able to get this win here tonight, she's going to have to play a huge role.
Another, on the other side of the court, another girl young in years but has a lot of experience and a lot of size is Hannah Krimble, 6'3", so that'll be a good matchup to watch underneath.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle of two big players underneath, and I think that's what both teams want to do, try and feed that ball underneath. She comes off at 9 points in that loss to Eden Prairie, but at 6'3", she's a dominating force underneath. The Cardinals defensively are going to try and have to keep that ball away from underneath the basket.
And both teams trying to right the ship early in the season and get their first victory in the conference opener. The Cardinals and the Rebels tip off next on CTN.
Oh, hi. I'm TV's Howie Shapiro. And when I'm not announcing CTN sports broadcasts with my sidekick Joe Yen, I'm watching all the other great programs on the CTN Studios YouTube page. There's news stories, great local events, and even full games. You can even watch on any smart device with a YouTube app. Whether that's your phone or a tablet, you can watch CTN's great programming wherever and whenever you want. You can even watch CTN's event coverage live. So no matter where you are, you can share in all the excitement. CTN Studios, building community through cable.
Back at Champlin Park High School, just about ready to get this one underway. Coon Rapids and Champlin Park in the Northwest Suburban Conference opener. We talked about the Cardinals a little bit and the Rebels for that matter. Rebels were in the section championship last year, but it lost a lot of that team. So they are very young. Coon Rapids didn't lose so much, but they were just extremely young last year. So come in still a youthful team, but a little bit more veteran at the same time.
Yeah, we talked to both coaches before the game, and Coach Peterson was telling us it's about consistency and how important that is for her club. We saw them play Forest Lake the other night. I'll go ahead and talk about starters.
Look at the starters for the Rebels. Tomaszak, Krimble, Jareds, Etheridge, and Garrison. For the Cardinals, Anderson, Nyberg, Wilkins, Signer, and Kaylee Porras.
There's head coach Jake Cuppy in his second season, and we were talking to him as well before the game, and he's the one mentioned that they did go to the section finals last year in his first year, and a good way to start his program, looking to see if he can get some consistency as well.
Well, a good resume behind him.
Yep.
He comes from the Hopkins boys program.
Yep, he was an assistant there, and certainly one of the maybe the most successful boys basketball team in the state of Minnesota.
Debbie Peterson on the other side for Coon Rapids, coming in just before tryouts, really. Only about 2 weeks before tryouts that she was hired, and there was and so she's technically on an interim basis trying to hopefully stick around for a while.
Yeah, and she's pretty excited about the squad. Granted that they're young, as you mentioned, and they've got some young players at key positions in the starting lineup, but she's pretty happy about, even though they lost that game.
Porras tracked it down and saved it for Signer in the corner, but then right there, the takeaway for Tomaszak. Champlin working it around quickly, and Jared's lost control and turns it over on the travel.
Yeah, it looked like Garrison, too, on this side actually moved her feet, but it wasn't called. And she dished the pass off, and then that was where they called the travel.
Megan Morehouse with the ball for the Cardinals. Pass batted away out of bounds, and it'll stay with the Cardinals.
Well, and that's adjustments Coon Rapids is going to have to make. That's 2 passes that were batted away. They're going to have to make sure that they get passes into their teammates.
Morehouse checking out already.
Nicole Fraser.
Marina Nyberg, another sophomore that played nearly every game last year. Porras trying to get it into Signer, batted away, going back the other way is Etheridge. She'll set up on the left side. Up top and around to Tomaszak, and Tomaszak moved her feet.
Now, both teams both coaches talked to us about turnovers. We've seen a couple by both teams here. So far, early going. There's the turnover there for Coon Rapids.
And another run up the floor for Champlin Park. Tomaszak into the middle for Jareds. Can't score on the side. Porras down with the rebound.
Yeah, we talked about Porras. That's what she's going to have to bring to this game, is that inside presence and get rebounds and do well on the offensive end.
Foul as Porras tried to turn. It's going to be called on Hannah Krimble.
Yeah, and that's the matchup we talked about, Krimble against Porsche, down low.
And as we saw in the boys' game we did a week or so ago, foul trouble can come up big against your stars.
Yes.
Another turnover by Coon Rapids. The pass just thrown out of bounds. Miscommunication. Oh, no,
it was tipped.
It was tipped. Nyberg in for Porras, posting up, kicks it out. Nyberg for 3, that one's short. Long rebound, Nyberg tracks it down, baseline. And she stepped on the line.
When I asked Coach Peterson about Marina Nyberg, she said she is a baller. She will play hard every single game. She's as well just a sophomore. You've got 3 sophomores in that starting lineup.
Good look underneath, but unable to finish as Jareds. The rebound by Frazier. Signer stepped on it. Signer going to be called for the offensive as she was stepping on the ball, leaning into the Champlin player.
One of Coach Cuppy's keys was taking care of the basketball, and I'm sure that's one of the things that he's going to talk to his girls as this game progresses about.
Underneath, good move by Krimble, but it won't fall. The rebound by Frazier.
Nice hustle by Frazier underneath.
Porras driving against Krimble, tied up, got it back and puts it home. First points on the board for Coon Rapids.
Well, Krimble got a hand on it, but didn't go after that loose basketball, and give Porras credit because she put it back in for the first 2 points of the game.
Krimble kicks it back out. Tomaszak long 2, won't go. Champlin had the rebound, batted away out of bounds. It'll be Rebel ball.
Champlin Park's going to call a timeout here. Again, nice move underneath, blocked by Krimble, but Porsche did a nice job of staying with it and putting it back up and in.
An unhappy coach for Champlin Park, trying to fire his team up, a little uninspired.
He fired me up.
Performance he feels for those first couple of minutes, and really, we've only seen 2 points on the board.
Right, we have.
And we're a little more than 2 minutes into this game.
Well, we'd like to see more scoring, but you know what else we'd like? We'd like everybody to go to Facebook and like our page at CTN.
Oh, it is going to be Coon Rapids ball.
Oh.
So a timeout to try and get their heads back together. Morehouse gets across midcourt, watched by Tomaszak. Right side for Signer. Erica Hicks, fresh on the floor, had the coverage. Foul's going to go against Etheridge. Katera Etheridge. I like that one.
That's a good name.
Inbound goes to Wilkins. Another turnover by the Cardinals. And Tomczak will bring it up court. Left side, Garrison. And now Hicks back up top. Etheridge puts it on the floor against Siner. Right side for Tomczak. Up top, Hicks for three. That one won't fall. Krimble the rebound, puts it back on the floor, backs out to the corner, and they'll reset.
Well, you can see Krimble's strength underneath as she dominated the board there and took that offensive rebound away.
Etheridge on the dribble to the lane. The pull-up is good.
Oh, nice job. You get a little perimeter inside, get that inside look, and you're able to get your guard to drive to the free throw line and drop a little short shot.
Porish underneath is fouled from behind by Krimble,
yeah,
and she'll go to the line to shoot two. That's two quick ones on Hannah Krimble.
Yeah, and that's something that Coach Guppy's going to have to keep an eye on because she is definitely their best post player, maybe their best player on the squad. And now a little bit of an early foul trouble with still plenty of time in the first half.
Porish hits the first, puts Coon Rapids back in front.
Yeah, and she's going to come out. Haley Moss coming in for Champlin Park.
And Porish sinks them both. She's got all four for Coon Rapids. They have a 4-2 lead.
Yeah, and she's gonna come out. Jessica Kohler coming in for Coon Rapids, so Porish will get a seat on the bench with Krimble out with two personals. There's a travel.
And another turnover by the Rebels. Inbound goes to Nyberg. She'll take it on the run, met by Whitty. Crosses to the right, into Kohler in the corner. Up top, Morehouse. Down low for Wilkins. Back out. A three-pointer for Kohler is good.
Oh, nice job. She just spotted up. No hesitation on that shot and dropped it. Kohler with the tray.
And Coon Rapids has the early 7-2 lead. Left side, Whitty kicks it back up top to Hicks. Right side now for Maki. Maki to the lane with the left hand, comes up short. Kohler battles for it, out of bounds, and it's Coon Rapids' ball. Kohler getting good position in there as well.
Cardinals doing a nice job battling underneath. But here's just the throwback to Kohler. She didn't hesitate. She drops that three.
Not going to respect my shot. I'm going to make you pay. Coon Rapids on the run. Kohler from the corner looking for three more. This time it won't fall. The rebound on the backside by Erica Hicks.
I'm going to say that went off Coon Rapids. It was close.
Nicole Frazier will check back in, give Marina Nyberg a bit of a breather. Megan Whitty to throw it in. Up top for Hicks. Kicks it out for Jareds into the lane. Little runner won't fall. Rebound bounces around. Getting it right back and putting it home is Allison Jareds.
Yeah, two Cardinals had an opportunity to get that ball, but they just couldn't find the handle on it. And credit underneath. Jareds underneath to score the bucket.
Siner turns inside and scores with the left hand.
Nice strong move underneath by Cheyenne Siner.
And that, you can hear that, that slap. Kaylee Porish going to pick this one up as Erica Hicks tried to go baseline.
That'll be her first. Team second. There you see the underneath. The Siner does a nice job of going through a couple of defenders, able to split them and get the bucket.
Erica Hicks able to hit the first. And Siner, one of those players they'd like to see really step up and contribute this season.
Nyberg back in as well as Brianna Clark for Coon Rapids. Hicks with a couple of big free throws, Joe.
Seiner driving with the left hand again. This one's an air ball taken away by Erica Hicks. Right side for Jarrett's, trying to feed it underneath. And they're going to call a second quick one on Kaylee Porish. Trying to get around the corner on Haley Moss.
Well, they're now a little concerned for Coach Peterson with
and
her player.
Porish is going to check out. Kenzie Wilkins back on the floor.
Yeah, she'll have to check out with her too. Crimble on the bench
partially tipped, and a steal by Cheyenne Seiner running against Jarrett's. Left-hander won't fall. The rebound taken by Hicks, and she's on the run the other way. And a great job coming back to break that one up by Clark.
Clark did a nice job of just stepping right into the passing lane, forcing the throw in from outside. Watch Clark come in right there, because she's going to trouble Megan Whitty.
Frazier getting a hand in on that pass. Tips her right back out of bounds. Look for Jarrett's open for three. She hits it and ties the game.
Nice job just spotting her up from outside the arc, and Jarrett's able to drop it. And what was a 7-2 Coon Rapids lead is now tied at 9.
Scramble on the floor. Morehouse ends up getting tied up with it, and the Rebels get the turnover. Trying to force that pass around the defender. Force the scramble on the floor, and it turns into a turnover.
I think they tied that one up, and they ended up, possession arrow went to Champlin.
Another three-point look and another three-point score for Allison Jarrett.
They're going to have to put a defender out on the wing on Jarrett, because now she's dropped 2 in a row from outside. That gives the Rebels the 12-9 lead.
Eight straight unanswered. Back-to-back three-pointers for Allison Jarrett. Will give and go, but Seiner can't finish. The battle underneath. Ball will stay with Coon Rapids.
And that's the key, being able to finish underneath. That time Seiner couldn't find the basket, but fortunately for the Cardinals, it'll stay in their possession.
Goes to Wilkins off the inbound, out to Seiner. Puts it on the floor, and she travels.
Smile on her face. I think she feels that she didn't take that extra step.
Whitty up top for Moss. Maki got it underneath to Jarrett's. Back out to Whitty. Hicks, Moss, Maki in the corner. Back up top. Driving left hand, partially blocked by Wilkins, lost out of bounds, and the Rebels will keep it.
Well, again, great defensive play by Wilkins to get a piece of that basketball. Unfortunately for the Cardinals, they had 2 white jerseys underneath the basket that couldn't control the basketball and bring it to their side.
And a good timeout for Coach Debbie Peterson. 11:26 still to go in this first half. Her squad trailing 12-9. 8 straight points by her opponent.
Yeah, there you see the nice job by Wilkins, and then, or the attempt by Wilkins to bring that ball in. That's going to go off her hand. As mentioned, the Cardinals calling that timeout to slow things down a little bit. What Coach Peterson sees there on the court, able to talk to her girls about.
This broadcast of CTN Sports being streamed live. Long two-pointer from the top of the key is good.
I got
for
an email.
Gabrielle Maki.
I got an email from Rick from Guam, and he just wanted to let us know to keep up the good work. Really enjoying the broadcasts.
Gabrielle Maki picks up the foul right after scoring the big bucket. A 15-9 lead for Champlin Park. Inbound goes to Morehouse, looking for three and finding it.
Boy, and they needed that too. Morehouse with a nice three. Able to bring the lead just to 2 now for Champlin Park.
Steal by Frazier, runs down the floor, stolen right back by Hicks. And then a steal by Nyberg, back underneath to Frazier. She misses, and Hicks has the rebound.
Yeah, again, another nice look underneath for the Cardinals. Couldn't get it to fall. They've had a few in this game.
Three-pointer for Maki is short. Rebound by Morehouse. And the Cardinals turned it over.
Yeah, sloppy passing there.
Driving and scoring with the left hand is Erica Hicks.
That time the defense, breakdown of the defense, and let Hicks go right down the lane, right to the bucket for the easy lay-in.
Wilkins driving to the baseline, now kicks across to Frazier, out to Signer. She puts it on the floor and draws the foul.
Lead back to 4 for the Rebels. Again, nobody's
Big
standing
hole
on
there
defense.
for her.
Standing around on defense, they'll let the opposition go and take that easy bucket.
Brianna Clark and Jessica Kohler checking back into the floor for Coon Rapids.
Subbing for Coon Rapids, number 15, Brianna Clark, and number 32, Jessica Kohler. Subbing for Champlin Park, number 14.
There's the travel. Hesitated on the pass and realized that she wasn't going to make it, and took a step in the process.
4-point lead for Champlin Park. Casey Tomczak into the front court, right side for Etheridge. Up top, Jarrett's. Down low they go to Krimble. And the foul is going to go against Mackenzie Wilkins, her first.
Coach Peterson not happy with the defense by the Cardinals and letting him know.
Starting 5 on the floor for Champlin Park. Trimble kicks it out. Jarrett's. We had a 3-second violation, however, before the shot. Another turnover by Champlin Park.
Well, these are situations when the Rebels turn the ball over. Coon Rapids, trailing just by 4, Joe, have to make something happen and keep this game close.
Mackenzie Wilkins is going to be called for the offensive as she shielded her way to get to that pass underneath. They say she pushed off on Hannah Krimble.
That'll be her second foul on Wilkins. Team 5th.
Three-pointer is off the mark for Jarrett. Signer with the rebound. Other end, Nyberg comes up short.
Well,
Krimble has the rebound.
She got in too close. They're going to call Signer. Yeah, they're going to call Signer on the block.
Be her second.
22, Shane Anderson. And subbing for Coon Rapids, number 34, Megan Morehouse.
Morehouse back in for the Cardinals.
Pass goes back underneath and Krimble scores.
Yeah, that pass, they rotate that pass up top and then direct it right back in the middle, and the defense softened when the pass went up to the top. And an easy basket for Krimble.
Well, how long do you wait to bring Kaylee Porish back in with Krimble now back on the floor? Inside to Signer, draws the double team, goes up strong and gets fouled. Foul's going to go against Katera Etheridge, her second.
There you see the foul right there. Got part of the hand.
Number 20,
2 shots, got to make them count here.
It's okay to use the glass. Perfectly legal.
Hey, as it goes in, it doesn't matter.
Fouling for Coon Rapids, Aaron Jenkins.
Aaron Jenkins checked in for the first time. That one's short. Rebound by Trimble. Good ball movement down underneath. Off the glass and in for Anna Garrison. Timeout, Coon Rapids.
Yeah, Garrison did a nice job of just stepping back and creating a little space for her, so she got a better look at the basket. That time she was able to get it underneath and put it up. Now a 7-point lead. Again, watch her step back just a little bit and create a little space, get a better look, able to use the backboard and get the basket.
Well, she definitely had the mismatch underneath against Brianna Clark. She uses her size to her advantage and gets her team back to a 7-point lead.
Yeah, and Coach Pearson wants to make sure she calls that timeout, does not want to see this get out of hand in any way.
Wow.
Guess we have 3 cameras
the
doing.
Sports Night cameras are everywhere. Does that include this particular broadcast, that 3?
No, it doesn't.
Does not include this.
Well, we're going to have another busy show next week.
4 highlights from tonight. That would be boys basketball at home against Champlin Park.
Correct.
Boys and girls hockey, I would have to assume.
I would think so.
No,
gymnastics.
Gymnastics and girls hockey. It's girls hockey playing tonight. Boys don't play until Thursday.
Right. Some of the Cardinal faithful here cheering their squad on. The short drive over to Champlin Park from Coon Rapids. I like the drive from my house here. A little bit better for me.
Well, we should have more events here just for Shapiro.
Yeah, at Armstrong would be good because then, I can walk there.
That pass a little over the head is Signer. Another turnover by Coon Rapids.
A turnover after a timeout can't please Coach Peterson.
Nice job staying alive underneath and getting the chance at least for Etheridge. She kicks it back out. Little baseline jumper for Garrison was way too much on it. Rebound on the backside by Clark. So we'll stay with Coon Rapids. Now we'll see Kaylee Porras check back in,
Well, that time
along with Mackenzie Wilkins.
Morehouse tried to feed it Jenkins underneath and ball kicked. Well, with 8:02 remaining, as you see, Porras back in with her 2 personals. Trimble also back in with 2 personals.
Goes up top to Nyberg. Into the post for Porras. Takes it right at Trimble and is blocked out of bounds. But the Cardinals maintain possession.
Yeah, she said,
keep going at her.
Don't bring that inside. Yeah, keep going at her. Let her pick up that third.
You have to keep going to Porras on the offensive end here. And either she scores or you get their star in deeper foul trouble.
But just make sure you don't pick up the offensive foul.
Okay, I was going to say, as long as you don't get the offensive. Driving is Porras, got a hand in the face, but no foul. Trimble away with the rebound. Other end won't fall.
Again, the Cardinals just not being aggressive rebounding the ball. That should have been their ball.
A block by Porras. The save, though, by Trimble on the baseline. They work it around to Tom Zach on the left side. Garrison up top for Jareds, and that pass just too far for Tom Zach to reach. So Porras repays the favor on the block. Pretty impressed. A couple of times we've seen Hannah Trimble go for balls and make nice saves and good passes as she's falling out of bounds. Morehouse down low to Porras, and she draws the foul. Is it going to be against Trimble?
Yeah, I think it is. Yep, that's her third. She's going to have to come out. There you see she picks up the foul. And again, good job by Porras to go at her.
I thought that might be on Anna Garrison.
Fouls on 14, Hannah Trimble.
So I have no idea. 2. If I get close, I'll ask. 14.
I think that's what that discussion was. You just overheard underneath. Trimble saying, I didn't touch it. And that's a big foul.
Well, it's huge.
You have Garrison who can take that foul. It would have been her first.
Come on, that takes her out of the game, most likely for the rest of the half.
No, they just. Nicole Frazier back on the floor. And Porras hits them both.
She has 6 points on the night.
Jared's cross court to Hicks. Back up top, Tomzak. Jared's down low for Garrison. Back up top, around to Hicks. She'll take the three. Well off the mark. Putback won't fall. Rebound tipped around. Signer ends up on the floor with it, tied up, Cardinal ball.
And that time, Cardinals fighting for that loose basketball. Got to do a better job rebounding on the defensive end.
Champlin Park, number 21, Anna Witt, and number 23, Goodwill Machi.
Nyberg hands off for Wilkins on the right side. Cross court to Signer. Partially tipped, and the Cardinals keep the ball. Gets it into Nyberg. Working against Hicks. Picks up the dribble and needs some help. Kicks it out to Porsche high on the left side. Pass inside was taken away by Jared. She'll run the floor for the Rebels and now hand off to Megan Whitty.
Jared's did a nice job of anticipating that pass on the inside.
Jared's for three. Well short and right back out of bounds to Coon Rapids.
Well, the Cardinals just trailing by 5. The Rebels are in the bonus situation foul-wise.
Jessica Kohler back on the floor. Wilkins right side, underneath, looking for Porish, and it's out of her reach. Nearly taken away by Katera Etheridge, but lost out of bounds.
Nice
She lobbied for the foul on Porish.
Nice hustle move by Etheridge as well to disrupt that.
To Morehouse at the back door, and there to stop her is Etheridge.
Yeah, she was definitely troubled by Etheridge. Etheridge wasn't fooled by that inbound pass, and she defended it well.
Morehouse a little late trying to get to that passing lane. They go low to Garrison, back up top. Whitty kicks it left side for Hicks and now gets it back at the top of the key. Erica Hicks on the left side. Whitty back to Hicks. Left side, Garrison. Pass tipped away by Nyberg, but it goes out off of Moss, and it will be Coon Rapids basketball. Good defensive hustle.
Yeah, good hustle
by Marina Nyberg.
Absolutely.
Going to see Hannah Krimble check back in, even with the 3 fouls. 5:32 remaining in this first half.
We just got an update. Unfortunately, the boys trailing Champlin Park 66-13 at the half.
Long 2 won't fall. Hicks takes the long rebound.
Yeah, Coach O can't be pleased with that.
No, I don't think so. Did you say 66-13?
I did. I know. It's hard to believe, but
that's a long 2 attempt. Won't fall. Frazier the rebound, but pressured and turns it over. Hicks will finish underneath.
Well, good hustle taken away from Frazier. And you got to make those count, and she did. Her squad up by 7.
Pass tip, but gets through to Porish. Puts it on the floor. And slapped away out of bounds.
Well, Krimble back in. Oh, they didn't. They did take the foul away from Crimble.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's the right call.
Yeah, I agree.
Goes into Signer, and she overshoots it after she has the rebound, and then immediately tied up by Signer. At least that'll get the possession arrow back in her team's favor.
And you've got to make those when you're that close underneath. That's a gimme basket. You cannot miss that.
Megan Whitty across midcourt. Just under 4.5 to play here in the first half. Champlin's 7-point lead, as large as they've had it all night. The three-pointer will not fall for Gabrielle Maki. Cardinals on the run. Signer to Kohler in the corner. Up top, Marina Nyberg. High post for Porish. Turns and faces up. And now gives it back to Nyberg. Driving baseline, won't fall. The rebound by Crimble.
Oh, nice move by Nyberg to gain the edge, but again, just a little bit too hard off that far part of the rim.
Maki inside to Crimble, turns and scores.
Now that's what they want to do, that quick look inside, and Crimble doesn't take long to get rid of the basketball, puts it in. That's 4 points for her.
Kohlers gets it in, and a late call on the travel. I think it's the right call, but I also believe it was called by the Champlin Park bench.
Right, happened right in front of the Champlin Park bench.
Underneath to Crimble, back up top. A three-pointer for Tomzak, won't fall. The rebound by Wilkins, able to get it out to Signer. Porish at the other end.
Oh, that's going to be on her.
Oh
no.
Allison Jarrett's will pick up her first. I thought that might be a charge as well.
I thought that was a charge.
No, her feet were
that was a good call.
That's a good call.
Yep, feet weren't set.
Porish back at the line. Shoot a 1-and-1. Hits the first and earns the second.
She's been solid from the line tonight.
And she's able to hit them both.
That gives her 8 points so far in the evening.
6 from the free throw line.
Yep.
Crimble underneath, turns and scores. And you have to, even with the 2 fouls, you have to play Porish on her down low.
Right.
Wilkins just is not enough of a presence.
Well, that time she used her speed.
Three-pointer is short. The rebound by Gerrits.
She had quick feet to get underneath the basket and make herself, again, give herself an opportunity to make a shot.
Porish gets a block, tied up, Cardinal ball. It's a 9-point Champlin Park lead as we reach the 2-minute mark here in the first half. Pass batted away back out of bounds by Allison Jarrett.
Erica Hicks back in now for Champlin Park. And we've seen her play well in the minutes that she's been on the floor.
Inbound attempt, batted back out of bounds. Pass telegraph for Porish, and Crimble steps in and steals it away. Rebels setting up on the perimeter again. Casey Tomzak into the corner for Anna Garrison. Up top, Morehouse gets into the lane and gets the steal. Then that pass gets away from Brianna Clark. Turned around, Crimble at the other end will turn and score.
Yeah, Porish just a little careful on what she was doing there. She did not want to pick up her third. And Crimble makes her pay. Another bucket down low for her.
Steiner lost the handle, almost able to regain it. The foul is going to go against
Is it going to
Anna
go?
Garrison.
Yeah,
So I believe that'll be Garrison's second.
correct.
And Steiner will go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Fouls on number 24, Anna Garrison.
Minute and a half remaining. There see the points so far in the evening for Cheyenne Steiner, 3. Of course, is going to take a seat on the bench. I think Coach Pearson wants to make sure she doesn't pick up that third personal here in the last minute and a half, the first half.
Steiner misses the front end. Flying in for the rebound is Allison Jareds. Champlin Park pushing it down the floor. Erica Hicks. Nice look underneath, and Jareds with the reverse layup.
Again, we've seen that quite a bit. Defensive laps by Coon Rapids and Rebels able to get looks down low.
Lead is grown to 13. Ball tied up on the way up, out of bounds off of Champlin Park. Pass tipped and taken away by Anna Garrison. Tomczyk into the front court for Hicks, working against Nyberg to the baseline, draws the foul. The bucket will count. It's a three-point opportunity for Erica Hicks.
Yeah, again, we talked about Erica Hicks, and when her amount of playing time, she's done well for the Rebels. There you're going to see she's going to take the drive to the basket, pick up the foul on Nyberg. An opportunity for a three-point play, as you mentioned.
One shot. One.
Foul is on number 25, Maria Nyberg.
And Hicks able to make it count.
That's the first on Nyberg.
16-point lead now for the home team as we reach the final minute of the first half. High post, Wilkins kicks it out. Nyberg into the post again for Wilkins. Tried to kick it out, batted away and recovered by Tomczyk. Trying to get it to Garrett on the run. Can't score with the left hand, but Hicks there to recover. Three-pointer for Garrison, and that will roll home.
Wow. Things going well for the Rebels. Again, get that miss in close. Able to find the shot from up top.
Pass batted away, another turnover, 15 seconds remaining. Rebels want to run. Hicks. And it'll come back out to Jarrett. Into the corner for Garrison, down to 5 seconds remaining. Hicks, Jarrett for three. It's well off the mark, and that'll do it for the first half. It was close for most, but at the end, a good close by the Rebels, and they lead by 19.
Head coach Debbie Peterson walking over. We're going to have a bit of a chat with her, and I'm sure there's some things that she sees out there that she's not happy with in this first half, and we'll get a chance to talk to her and see what her reaction is.
She's already over at the camera. I think she wants to take a second to
compose herself. Yeah,
and understandably so, because that was a quite the collapse at the end of the half. The Rebels able to go on a 16-2 run to end the half.
They were, and you know that's big for Champlin Park. They just able to open up that lead, and really did a nice job of controlling the action on both sides.
And she is now on the headset, and Coach, first half of that first half looked pretty good.
Yes, the first part of the first half did, and then we just started making stupid mental mistakes and turning the ball over and not getting back on defense.
You know, I was going to mention turnovers too, because far too many, I'm sure, for your liking. What do you talk to the girls about? You know, you're down big at the half about just taking it, play by play, coming back in the second half.
Well, you said it. We have to take it play by play. It's got to be one stop on defense. We have to pick up our defensive intensity. It's way too easy for them. And then on offense, it's just being patient and taking care of the ball. If it takes us 30 seconds to score, that's fine. Don't throw the ball right to the other team, though.
Yeah, a lot of very short possessions there in that final minute assisted Champlin Park on that big run, 16-2 to end the half.
Yeah, we have to do a much better job of closing out the half. And honestly, we make one mistake and hang our heads, and we have to mentally regroup here at halftime and come out and fight for it in the second half.
Well, we'll let you get to the locker room and talk to your girls about just that. Thanks for joining us. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
We will take a break, and we will be back with first half stats and highlights after this. You're watching live girls high school basketball on CTN.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
I've got a job to do today.
I've got a job to do today.
Have a good first day at work, Mom.
Your donations to Goodwill fund job training programs right in your community.
Feels good to start fresh, right?
Sure does.
And like that, you're a job creator.
Back at Champlin Park High School as the Rebels starting to run away with it at the half, 36-17. It was 20-15 with about 5 minutes to play.
Yeah, you know, and Coach Pearson said it, that defensively they have to do a better job. They obviously have to stop turning the ball over. And they had, and one thing we didn't talk, they had a couple of nice looks in close that they weren't able to capitalize on. And give credit to Champlin Park because they did a nice job of extending their lead, closing their first half out the way that their coach, Jake Cuppy, who I'm sure was pleased to see. And so the Cardinals have got, obviously have to make some adjustments at the break and come out here and try and play a better second half.
Take a look at some of the first half highlights. It was close early on, a good battle as we anticipated between Forish and Trimble. Unfortunately, a few too many fouls between the two, so a lot of them were sitting on the sidelines. Big three-pointer fresh off the bench for Polar gave Cardinals the early 7-2 lead. And at that point, they were up 9-4, but then the Rebels start getting some more production. Jared's hoisted them on their shoulders for a little bit, hit back-to-back three-pointers, helped them stretch or get their first lead. Cardinals kept it close to 14-12. And then the big run at the end for the Rebels. They outscore the Cardinals 16-2 down the stretch.
And there, you know, again, there you see the numbers. I mean, look at the shooting for Coon Rapids, 2 of 13 from 2. Obviously a little better percentage from 3, but you have to definitely do a better job of hitting your mid-range shots. And free throws, you got to give Coon Rapids credit. They got to the line 9 times, hit 7 of them, but the Rebels will have the 6 rebound edge here at the break.
We will take a short break, and we will be back with Champlin Park's reaction right after this. You're watching CTN's coverage of girls high school basketball.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Back at Champlin Park High School, the Rebels leading the Cardinals 36-17 at the break. We're joined now by Champlin Park head coach Jake Cuppy. And Coach, a rather fiery speech about having some intensity early in that half, and you definitely have to like the way your girls closed it out.
Yeah, we did. We started having some sense of urgency. We started getting after it. Started diving on the floor. Started pushing the ball a little bit. Started playing a little faster and a little harder, and we started making some plays.
Coach, I was impressed with the way your squad really created opportunities for themselves. They did a nice job of passing the ball around the perimeter and then quickly taking that shot when they had the open look.
Yeah, you know, they're kind of switching up zones on us, and we're always preaching, move it, don't hold it, attack and kick, and just don't hold on to the ball. And when we're making that extra second, third pass, we're getting any shot we want.
What was your message to the girls in the locker room? What are you looking to shore up here in the second half?
Well, we gotta play every second hard and intense. We gotta compete and get after it. Try to build this lead up at the first part of the half, and we got to do it by getting defensive stops. I told the girls that we got to get 5-6 stops in a row, and we'll blow this game open.
Well, a 16-2 run at the end of the first half definitely helps your momentum. We want to thank you for joining us, Coach, and good luck in the second half.
No problem. Thank you.
And Howie, I would imagine that Coach Peterson's message has to be something similar as far as a little more intensity, because a lot of turnovers and a sloppy run there in the last few minutes of that first half.
Yeah, and I think better defense, certainly on the opportunity to stop what they want to do. So I think those are the kind of things that Coach Peterson talked about, I would imagine anyway.
Well, and they got, with only 2 fouls now, neither coach really has to be too concerned about their post players.
Correct.
And it'll be interesting to see how they go at that matchup early in the second half. We saw when Crimble came back on the floor with the 2 fouls, Coon Rapids was going at her on defense. And at the other end, when Crimble was underneath, Porish was not there to defend, protecting her with the 2 fouls. Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see, again, both teams probably the same situation. Go after that big player and get her to pick up that third personal. We'll see which one commits it first.
Well, we'll see. Coach Cuppy talked about switching up zones. We'll see if they continue to put Mackenzie Wilkins in there against her on defense. Signer got the steal, but we have no game clock. It's kind of fortunate for the Rebels. Yeah. The Cardinals get a steal, but the clock wasn't working. A strip by Nyberg, but recovered by Garrison. Mackenzie Wilkins on her out deep. Etheridge gets to the charity stripe and comes up short. Gets her own rebound, though, tied up. Possession arrow will favor the Cardinals. Mackenzie Wilkins getting a hand in there.
Yeah, again, Cardinals get to that ball a little quicker. They avoid that tie-up, and they keep the arrow on their side, but fortunately for Coon Rapids, they were able to tie it up and had the arrow favoring them.
Nyberg trying to squeeze a pass through a couple of players. It's tied up on the floor, and now it'll be Champlin Park ball.
Well, and that's exactly what Coach Guppy talked about. Go get a stop on defense, get 5 in a row, and see if we can continue to extend this lead.
Underneath, a little too much on that pass. Etheridge can't control underneath. And a turnover back to the Cardinals, starting similar to the way we saw the first half start, where we didn't see a point on the board for the first 2 minutes of the game.
Well, the thing for the Cardinals, they need buckets. They need buckets and defensive stops.
Steiner draws the double team, but couldn't get it over the top. Driving is Wilkins, and she'll get the foul as Garner got there late. Allison Jared's her second.
Yep, her second.
Foul is on number 22.
Mercy again, driving the edge for Wilkins.
Hit everything around, but wouldn't go down.
Yeah.
Missed them both. Tracking down the rebounds is Garrison. Etheridge driving baseline. Hits the bottom of the rim, and Morehouse's pass well behind Steiner and out of bounds.
I'm not sure if a little miscommunication on between Morehouse and Steiner in terms of where Steiner was going to be. But again, that just threw that ball out of bounds.
Hicks trying to create off the dribble. Kicks it back for Tomzak. Left side for Jareds. She'll drive to the lane. Her pass is out off of, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, huh?
Yeah, it's like, it looked like it went off of Coon Rapids.
There were 3 Cardinal players she tried to squeeze that pass through, and it didn't make it. May put some spin on it, but not that much. Trimble turns and scores off the glass.
Well,
she really started getting hot late in that first half. She's got 10 now.
And that's the offense they want to run. They want to kick that underneath to her. She's got a quick move to the basket. You saw it there, but now very little hesitation as she turned and fired.
Nyberg a little late trying to get that pass through. Hicks knocks it out of bounds. Had Porish running down the side of the lane. Nyberg will go way up top for Steiner, fights through some hands, and then draws the foul on Garrison in the lane. That'll be number 3 for Anna Garrison.
Good hustle.
Steiner back at the line.
Yeah, good hustle by Steiner as she takes that away and able to get an opportunity, gets her shot off, picks up the foul, and now she'll try to go to the stripe and earn her points.
And Steiner able to hit the first. Steiner hits them both. Hicks drives to the baseline, draws the foul. She'll go to the line and shoot 2. Steiner, I think, gonna be the guilty party.
And that'll be her 3rd.
Foul is on number 22, Cheyenne Steiner.
Hicks a perfect 3 for 3. Only one to get to the line for Champlin Park so far. I thought that may have been a foul on Mackenzie Wilkins instead, but Hicks able to hit them both.
And that's the key. They come back and answer after the Cardinals get 2 free throws.
Steiner trying to get it into Porish and does. Now backdoor for Morehouse. Her shot is short, follows her own shot, gets the rebound and puts it home.
Well, good hustle by Megan Morehouse. She missed that first one, but stayed with it.
Hicks up top, Jared's underneath to Krimble, turns to her right and scores.
Just nice job, body control to get that look underneath.
Krimble gets in the passing lane and takes that one away. Cardinals trying to trap, but she gets it to Garrison. Down court for Jared's. Steps around. Nyberg gets the foul. And they're going to call it before she went up. For Nyberg, her second.
You'll see she gains the edge and works to the inside. Not happy that she didn't get the bucket as well.
It was a good move. She's had a nice ball game.
Yep. Cardinals are going to call timeout here. Trailing 42-21 with 15:08 remaining in the ball game. And Champlin Park, give them credit. They're doing a nice job of extending their lead. Oh, we're all over the social media. If you haven't checked us out.
We're all at Twitter about
yes, because
social media.
If you follow us, it'll be a tweet for you. And a tweet for us. Yep, absolutely. Tweets all around. CTN Studios on Twitter. Make
You're
sure you
look
at they're starting to follow us right now.
Right now.
Yeah, look at 4 of them. We got 4 new followers.
Getting all the latest.
I like it.
If she weren't videotaping the game, I'm sure she'd be using that tablet to check us out on YouTube.
Absolutely.
Morehouse, good anticipation and effort to get to that ball, get the steal. Nyberg on the run. And that pass just out of the reach of Kohlers. Another turnover by the Cardinals. Megan Whitty for Champlin Park. Left side for Hicks. Up top for Maki. Right side, Jarrett. Whitty trying to get it back to Jared's in the corner, but she's going to get the foul if this is on
Nyberg, I thought.
Nyberg, which it is. That's number 3.
Fouls on number 25, Marina Howard.
Frazier's going to come in for Nyberg with her 3 personals.
Up top for Hicks. Left side, Etheridge. Whitty gets inside and sinks a little short jumper.
Continues to increase the lead for Champlin.
Kohlers for 3. She missed this one.
Oh, great
Champlin
hustle.
able to save the rebound. That's Hicks.
There's a travel.
Yep, a little bit of a travel tracking that one down for Megan Whitty.
I'm impressed with Erica Hicks' play off the bench for Champlin
absolutely.
Park. She hustles on both ends of the court.
She's got 11 points, 7 rebounds, unofficially.
Of course.
Steiner into Kohler in the corner. Guarded closely by Maki. Kicks it back to Steiner. Now Morehouse. Over the top for Wilkins. Quick double team. Kohler will put it on the floor. And she'll get Gabrielle Maki walking backwards and forced to commit the foul.
Now she get an opportunity from the stripe.
Foul on number 23.
There you're going to see the throw out to Kohler. She's going to take a drive to the basket. And that's where the infraction happened.
Kohler able to roll the first one home.
Porsche back in for Coon Rapids. Signer take a seat on the bench.
Whitty will bring it up, met at mid-court by Morehouse. Right side for Hicks. Left side now for Etheridge. Etheridge to the lane, pulls up and shoots. This one's off the mark. Rebound for Whitty. Short jumper is good.
Well, Whitty again off the miss. Able to put it in. 46-23 in favor of the Rebels.
Steal underneath by Haley Moss. As Porish again drew the double team. Pull-up jumper is short again for Etheridge. The rebound this time for Wilkins. Drives the other way and scores.
That time I know defensively, even though the lead is where it's at, can't please Coach Cuppy is.
Maki draws the foul. The bucket won't fall, but she'll go to the line to shoot 2. Wilkins picking up her 3rd.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of Cardinal players with 3 personals.
Nice little ball
beautiful, fake. Beautiful ball fake, and able to split the defense.
Maki hits the first.
Kayla Thone in for Coon Rapids, and Nyberg back in.
And Maki hits them both. Frazier looking for Nyberg. That was tipped. And it'll stay Coon Rapids basketball. Nyberg will go up top to Frazier. High post. Porish will put it on the floor and draw the foul going to the lane. This one's going to go on Haley Moss.
Oh, you know, if you're under control and you drive to the basket, you have an opportunity to pick up a foul like that. Porish did a nice job, and they know that she's a scorer for them, and defensively they had to keep an eye on her, but she's able to pick up the contact, go to the line.
Porish hits the first. 7 of her 9 points from the free throw line tonight. And she hits them both.
Yeah, you'll take those, but Coach Pearson would like to see more production underneath from her post player.
Whitty looking for room on the right side, won't find it, and that's going to be an offensive foul for the moving screen against Haley Moss.
Foul was on number 34, Haley Moss.
I don't think that Coach Cuppy agreed.
That's Moss's second.
Fouls all games seem to have come in groups against certain players. Etheridge jumps into that passing lane and will finish at the other end with the left hand.
Great athletic move by Etheridge as she's able to step right in front of the pass and take it to the hole.
Underneath, Porish can't finish. Moss gets the rebound. Into the corner, Jared's for 3. That's short, rebound tipped. The hustle, Moss ends up with the basketball.
On Etheridge made that happen. She
the drive, the bucket, and the foul for Gabrielle Maki.
Gonna call that on Kohler. Maki did a nice job of converting the basket. Now the Cardinals calling a timeout.
Yeah, this one has come off its hinges a little bit for Coon Rapids, trailing 25 with 11:46 remaining.
Kids having fun here at the game, especially the Champlin Park fans.
I was going to say
enjoying
the home crowd and the home team having a great time.
Yep, absolutely enjoying the big lead that the Rebels have built up here with 11:46 remaining.
And Champlin Park continuing to get second looks. And far too many easy looks for that young lady.
Yes, absolutely. And that's the key defensively. You cannot give up those easy looks, and Coon Rapids have been doing it pretty much all night long, giving up those nice looks defensively. And, give credit to the Rebels. They've been hustling through the ball, I think, a little better than the Coon Rapids here tonight, and they've earned this advantage.
Maki misses the follow. Morehouse running the floor to the other end, pulls up. The shot is off the mark, though, and Jareds has the rebound.
Again, a quick shot. No help there for rebounding, and Champlin Park easily returned for it. That'll be a turnover.
Skips out of Krimble's hands. Nyberg into the post for Porish. Reach-in is going to be called on Allison Jareds, her third.
And again, a number of Rebel players with 3 personals. But Krimble's done a nice job of, after accruing those 2, staying out of foul trouble.
Jareds had a finger in on it, so did Tomczak. Coming away with it is Etheridge. Jareds at the other end will score on the run.
Yeah, nice fast break by Champlin Park off the turnover by the Cardinals. And again, the Rebels clicking on all cylinders here tonight. Another reach in by Etheridge.
And another turnover.
That'll go to the Rebels.
Good hands on defense, leads to offense for Champlin Park. Allison Jareds dropping it in. She's got a dozen. Porish blocked by Krimble. Jareds has the recovery. Jareds on the right wing, looking to the lane that hit the leg of Frazier. And Champlin will start over.
Well, this is exactly what Coach Pearson did not want to happen here this evening, is turn the ball over and let the lead
back
grow.
Down low. This time it won't fall for Krimble, but she tipped the rebound, and Etheridge recovers. Diving to the floor is Morehouse. It's tied up. This time the possession arrow favors Champlin Park. Tomczak down low for Jareds, bucket and the foul. Should go to the line.
And again, I just like the way they work their offense. They're able to send a number of players down low, and then you'll see, again, the good pass inside. Darrell's able to convert, get the opportunity for the three-point play. 14 points for her this evening. She is the leading scorer tonight so far here in this contest for either squad.
And Jared's able to hit that one as well.
I think there's a lane violation.
Oh.
So that one will not count.
Fortunate for the Cardinals.
Yep.
29-point Champlin Park lead. Frazier backdoor to Morehouse. She's blocked by Krimble. And Hicks comes away with it. Other end, Trimble is fouled by Frazier. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, again, they work that fast break well and get it inside to Trimble, and really Frazier, there's nothing she could do other than foul her and force her to hit her points from the stripe. She beat the Cardinal defense down low.
That one rolls in and out for Hannah Trimble.
Wilkins back in for the Cardinals. Steiner will take a seat on the bench.
Trimble able to hit 1 of 2. Frazier's shot is off. Jared's has the rebound.
Well, good look for Frazier, but just hard off the iron.
Hicks gets the pick, kicks it out to Jared's on the right, back to Tomaszak. Down low, turning with it is Trimble as he scores again.
Again, this is a nice job of receiving the pass and then the quick turn to the basket. That's 15 points now for Trimble. Oh, really nice defense by the Rebels, able to take it away.
Timeout, Coon Rapids. Porish coming back in, but team trailing by 32 with 9.5 to play.
Again, just a nice feed down low in the box, and Trimble does a nice job of just turning and hooking the shot in. Coach Peterson, you can see at that point, not pleased with her squad and their effort here tonight, trailing 59-27.
Again, they hung with the Rebels for the first 10 minutes or so, but once the Rebels started rolling, really the last part of that second half and all the way here through the second.
Best way to see what we do on CTN is order it online. You saw the tag there. If you want to see what we do and order a copy of a game, just go to our website, ctnstudios.com. You can do it from there. Or shop.ctnstudios.com.
The 19-point halftime lead has grown to 32. Cardinals being outscored 23-10 in this second half.
Well, Coach Cuppy said he wanted to increase that lead and come out and do it, and they've done exactly
nice drive
that.
by Jared's, and she scores. She's having a great game.
Yeah, again, the Cardinals standing around on defense. Coach Peterson not pleased with that effort defensively from Coon Rapids. They allowed girls to continue to slice to the basket.
Nice play, Shapiro.
Got
Way
the
to go.
assist.
Way to go. 13 straight points for Champlin Park. Morehouse pass deflected, Porish recovers. Her pass deflected, Morehouse is there, and she is fouled. That will put her at the line to shoot a 1-and-1.
Whitty's first. And that will be the 7th team foul now on Champlin Park.
Megan Morehouse's first trip to the stripe. And she earns the second. Breaks that long run for Champlin Park.
violation, this time against the Cardinals.
Whitty brings it up court, right side. Continuing to work that perimeter. Three-pointer for Whitty is good.
Well, and they do such a nice job. We talked to Coach Cuppy about the way they work that ball around the perimeter. Look for that open opportunity.
Wilkins trying to get it inside, knocked away by Moss, recovered by Jarrett's. Rebels on the run again, slowing things up is Garrison. That pass batted away by Mackenzie Wilkins. The Cardinals going the other way. Frazier drives, draws the foul on Jarrett's. That'll be her fourth, and it'll put Frazier at the line to shoot 2.
And Jarrett's with 16 points on the evening between her and Krimble. Leading the way for the Rebels.
And Frazier misses the first.
Subbing in for Coon Rapids, number 22, Cheyenne Snyder, and number 32, Jessica Kohler. Subbing in for Champlin Park, number 1.
Snyder and Kohler back in for Coon Rapids.
More than a 35-point lead for Champlin Park, so the time ticking away now. Frazier able to hit 1 of 2. A whole bunch of new faces on the floor. It's Lydia Brecht.
Amanda Pollard as well.
Pollard with it in the right corner. Top to Maki, Hicks. Fakes by Brecht, back up top to Maki. She drives, got into a little bit of trouble in travel. Nicole Frazier taking the hit for Coon Rapids on defense. Haley Hargroder on your programs is number 4. On the floor, number 3.
They just did that to mess with us, Joe. They did stop the clock.
And she's going to get a technical. They're going to get a technical foul for
delay.
For Hargroder wearing a different jersey. Nyberg will shoot the foul shots for the Cardinals. Nyberg had, what, 14 in the opener?
I will double check, but I think so.
11.
15.
15. Scoreless tonight and will remain that way after missing both tech foul free throws.
Subbing for Champlin Park, number 11,
Samantha Proctor. Now I've got Haley Hargroder on the floor in number 4. And so now I don't know who number 3 is. But she's evidently wearing the wrong jersey. And that is why the tech fall was called, because I have no 3 on my roster.
I don't know what to tell you.
That will turn into a travel for Coon Rapids. So we're just going to call her number 3.
It's too bad she's not number 9.
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 Pollard
driving baseline. Comes up short, the rebound. Controlled by Proctor. Steal by Marina Nyberg. And Hargroder ran into her, ran the ball out of bounds. Stay with Coon Rapids. Porish back on the floor for the Cardinals. Pass was a little over Siner's head. She battles her way against Pollard. And Pollard will draw the foul. Siner will go to the line.
Pollard's just a freshman, Joe. Getting an opportunity. They have a couple of freshmen. Actually, 4
Lydia
freshmen
Brecht
on the roster.
Is in the game.
Erica Hicks is a freshman.
Gabrielle Maki has been playing considerable minutes.
Yep.
And Erica Hicks has had, we've talked about quite a bit, having a great game off the bench. The unofficially 8 rebounds to go with her 11 points. Tied up, Cardinal ball. Ball goes in to Porish. She gets the foul. She'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Fouls on number 43, Eric Phillips.
Porish, for the first time, missing from the free throw line tonight. She is now 8 of 9.
Oh, some more numbers for you to put in your scorebook, Joe.
I stopped. I don't have that many lines. Taylor Fields, I'm just trying to keep track of them as they touch the ball. Tori Baird and Anna Kautzman. Porish hits 1 of 2.
That's her 11th point on the night. We talked about scored 18 against Forest Lake.
But we talked with Coach Peterson before the game about needing some other players to step up when you had her and Siner scoring well, or her and Marina Nyberg scoring well in that opener.
Yep.
Haley Hargroder gets a big hand from the bench as she scores on the jumper. Porish draws another foul and will go back to the line. We talked about those two scoring well, and they needed some more contributions from other parts of the lineup, and then you have Nyberg still scoreless with just 2.5 minutes to go. Her team trailing by 35.
Well, and you have 31 points in the contest so far. Not a lot of offense there for Coon Rapids at this point.
Porish now 10 of 11 from free throw line. Yeah, you'll take that all game long. 11 of 12 from the free throw line.
Absolutely.
I've been impressed with Porish's play. I mean, defensively, they took her off of Trimble for a lot of Trimble's big points. Lydia Brecht, the freshman, hits a little short, soft jumper. But, offensively, she's only scored 2 points from the floor, but she's done a great job of being aggressive, drawing the fouls, and then capitalizing when she got to the charity stripe.
Yeah, there's the Brecht with just a little soft shot.
Trying to contain her excitement.
That got her first 2 points of the game.
I was going to say possibly first 2 points of her varsity career. As a freshman, I don't know if she scored against Eden Prairie.
I could tell
Siner getting the line and hitting one.
She did not.
It's quite possible that was the first points of the season for Haley Hargroder, too. Maybe the first points of her career.
Yep, and that would
She's
be correct
just a
as well.
sophomore. A little too high for Frazier. Rebound recovered by Proctor. Under a minute to play as Hargroder brings it into the front court. Left side for Proctor. Back to Hargroder. Back to Proctor. Thought about the 3, but quickly Porish was there.
There's a walk.
And Nyberg forces the travel. 30 seconds remaining.
The Cardinals are going to drop to 0-2, and the Rebels will even their record at 1-1 after tonight.
Councilman and Frazier tie up. The possession arrow favors the Rebels, and they'll probably just run the clock out as we're down to 5 seconds remaining.
Cardinals have Anoka at home on Thursday night.
And that will certainly not be an easy match either.
Nope. Nice, a big win for Champlin Park. They pretty much controlled this game. Cardinals were up 7-2 at one point, but after that, the Rebels took control. And
well, it was really that last 5 or 6 minutes of the first half when they went on that big run. Yep. Just went from a 5-point game to a 19-point edge at the break, and the Cardinals never got any traction here in the second.
No, they didn't, and so they will go back to the drawing board and figure out what they need to do. You know, we saw Coach Pierce said the first half against Forest Lake was competitive and good, and they were tied at 31, but I would think that the second half and both halves of this game, work to be done for the Cardinals girls basketball program.
Well, we'll see them again in a couple of weeks, day after Christmas to be exact. Up next on CTN is wrestling as the Cardinals host Section 7 3A rival St. Francis. Live coverage on Thursday starts at 7 o'clock. Girls hockey and the retiring of Rachel Bona's number 7.
That'll be fun.
Saturday, live at 7:30, and then we'll see the girls basketball team on Friday the 26th against South St. Paul.
A lot of good stuff on the docket, Joe.
For this edition of CTN Sports, again, the final score, Champlin Park 68, Coon Rapids 34. Want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howard Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.